vola ngwela o veteronugu ako itabua ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM nambando na sere
Bula alang gonoa ilutoka do talita na Bula FM berarti nambando na sere
ni Bula binaka nanreke ngosa Bula FM nga ena kasi
nalang gosa mundo achiwe na Bula FM nambando na sere nusuri
ni Bula binaka nalang go Jerry yang melambasa do barongo na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 and seri.
In the news tonight, more people appear for alleged FNPF scam. Health Ministry warns of meningococcal symptoms. And Sunday school numbers dwindle for Methodist Church.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
6 more people appeared at the Suva Magistrates Court today for allegedly defrauding the Fiji National Provident Fund of over $59,000. This is the 4th group said to be involved in the alleged FNPF fraud case that has been before the courts for the last 3 weeks. The total number of people charged in relation to the alleged scam now stands at 20, and the number is expected to grow. Pranita Prakash was in court and filed this report.
A former employee of the Fiji National Provident Fund, Jack Edward Hiramatsu, and a former clerk of the Itoke Land Trust Board, Andir Finangaranivalu, are now facing additional charges involving 6 more people. In today's case, Hiramatsu picked up 4 more counts of forgery, while Garanivalu added 1 more. It is alleged that Hiramatsu made a false valuation report, while Garanivalu made a false certificate of title to obtain a gain. In the 4th instance of the alleged fraud case brought before the court this afternoon, Temo Tuilailai, Metuisela Lamba, Eseta Nangata, Iswam Bukurau, Salote Waimbure and Chuana Yambakin Rao are each charged with using a forged document. It is alleged that they used forged certificates of title as genuine with the intent to receive over $59,000 by qualifying for housing assistance based on a fraudulent title. Hiramatsu and Garanivalu were not produced in court today, however, will be appearing at a later date. The 6 other people were released on strict bail conditions. The matter has been adjourned to next Friday. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the TLTB says the organisation was not involved nor condones the incident involving Garnivalu, which the police are currently investigating. TLTB reassures its stakeholders and the public at large that it has a zero-tolerance policy on unlawful dealings and remains committed to continue to uphold this position in the best interest of all its stakeholders. The Ministry of Health is urging Fijians to remain vigilant about the symptoms of the meningococcal disease, particularly with other strains of the deadly infection. This comes after 6 people this year have been killed by the disease, which included 2 children aged 16 and 4. Maggie Boyle with the story.
The Ministry of Health has clarified that the 2018 mass vaccination campaign targeted only 1 strain of the disease.
Last year we had the massive meningococcal C outbreak and the meningococcal C vaccination campaign, which targeted all 1 to 19-year-olds. When we declared the outbreak over in December last year, the Ministry of Health made very clear that while that outbreak was over, we still expected cases.
Health Minister Dr. Efiremi Wanganembete explaining that while the 2 children who died this year may have been covered under the vaccination, immunization is not 100% foolproof.
Just because we have a vaccination program, immunization program, as Dr. Alicia said, doesn't mean that we are immune to it. All people are different. There are some that have a very strong immunity and they develop the immunity very quickly and very strongly, and some unfortunately don't.
The ministry is urging all Fijians to take preventative measures against the deadly bacterial infection.
It's not airborne. You can't get it by just being in this room with someone who has a disease. It is contact with the saliva or the spit of someone who has a disease. So that's intimate contact. So if you kiss somebody on the mouth, deep kissing, if you live in the same household as a person.
Anyone experiencing symptoms of meningococcal disease, such as a fever, vomiting, a stiff neck and a red and or purple rash on their skin, must immediately get medical attention. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
In a bid to commemorate World Mosquito Day, the World Mosquito Program held a free and informative breakfast at Suva's Terry Walk this morning. The Wolbachia breakfast was organised to raise awareness of the Wolbachia method of reducing mosquito-borne diseases. Priya Nand with the details.
The Wolbachia method injects mosquitoes with the safe, naturally occurring Wolbachia bacterium, so when they mate, their offspring cannot carry dangerous viruses like dengue, chikungunya, Zika and malaria, and that trait is passed on to the next generation.
World Mosquito Program, together with partners, Live and Learn and Environmental Education, and also Ministry of Health and Ministry of Health and Medical Services. That is what we are trying to bring to the public today, is to create awareness for the people to know that there's a killer insect in the country which is known as Aedes aegypti, which spreads the Zika, dengue and chikungunya. So it's about people coming together to learn more about the program that we give.
He says he's confident the method will bring Fiji a long-term reduction in mosquito-borne diseases. Wolbachia-carrying mosquitoes are currently being released in Nandi and Lautoka.
We've completed one phase, and that is phase 1. Last year, with funding from Australian government. That was from Lami, Suva to Nakasi corridor, and that ended in March this year. From April up until as we speak, till date, we are currently implementing in the West through the New Zealand Aid Fund.
The Wolbachia bacterium is not harmful to people. However, everyone is advised to continue the effort to destroy mosquitoes and their breeding sites. Priya Nand, FBC News.
Oral health disease is a growing concern for the Fiji Dental Association. Association President Vikash Singh says Fijians are not well educated on the downside of dental diseases and how they can affect a person's general well-being. Koroi Tandulala reports.
Dr. Singh says many Fijians suffer from gum diseases and this often goes untreated.
Adults lose their teeth mostly through gum disease. Unfortunately, in early stages, both these conditions are symptomless, so you don't experience much discomfort until it's a bit too late.
Singh says in many cases people do not know how to brush their teeth properly, and if they use the wrong type of toothbrush it can cause even more damage.
Gum diseases are caused by not cleaning your teeth properly. So many people say that they brush, but they really are not very well versed with how to brush properly, and a dentist can show you how to do that. Sometimes people use very hard toothbrushes, and that can be quite damaging to your dentition, to your teeth.
For many people, of course, it's an important thing in terms of aesthetics. So people's well-being and there are various ways of measuring their happiness through their teeth.
The Fiji Dental Association hopes to work with the Health Ministry in carrying out a national dental survey, detect dental health issues in the country and how to address them. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The gap between Sunday school and the Methodist Youth's Fellowship topped the main agenda of the annual Methodist Conference today. The presentation from the church's Young People's Department highlighted a massive drop in the number of MYF recorded by the church. Sainani Boiler reports.
The number of Sunday school members stands at 52,000. However, only 24,000 youth are registered under the MYF.
The gap between the younger Sunday school and the MYF, the age group that is between, continues to be a concern in the church. So they're reviving the junior MYF. Not only, they're actually writing a book that will help junior MYF teachers and pastors.
Rengunamanda says urban migration is also a major issue of the drop in stats.
The issue here is counting. The Methodist Church is working towards finding a good format of collecting the members. You know, just to get the members tallied with the government. The government says 2017, the population of the Methodist Church is 309,000.
Also part of the agenda was the decrease of the church's expenditure from $4 million in 2017 to $1.5 million in 2019.
It's a difficult time and people are struggling to feed their families, and at the same time they give all to the church, and we, the stewards in the church, must use the funding wisely.
Meanwhile, statistics of the church members will be one of the major topic of discussions tomorrow. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
Up ahead, Navy joins in the drug fight. And diplomats meet for brainstorming. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Maintaining consistency and capability out at sea is a challenge for the Fiji Navy as they continue to keep our borders safe. Commander Captain Humphrey Tawakia says the transportation of illegal drugs by sea is a major threat and they're learning to work smartly to curb these criminal activities. Kelly Vadala reports.
The spike in illegal drugs is prompting border forces such as the Fiji Navy to go the extra mile in the fight.
It's real, it's happening, but it's all been transported by the sea. It's one of our threats that we have, but I think we can work smart around it together with our stakeholders. The challenge is being consistently out at sea for us, maintaining capabilities at sea, showing that presence, that deterrence, and securing that our sea lanes of communications are safe.
The commander adds with majority of Fiji's trade by sea, it's even more crucial to monitor what comes into the country.
Most of our trade is by sea. 90% of Fiji's trade is by sea. And 2/3 of our revenue is from blue economy. We have stakeholders, academics that brief us on what's happening, then we put that information together and the resources that we have to try and harmonize our efforts.
Meanwhile, police in its night operations is also ensuring cities such as Suva are safe from illicit drugs.
We've noted the support from the general public is out there, so if we continue and then for sure we'll create that safe for Suva again.
The Fiji Navy frequently meets with other Pacific maritime forces to share knowledge and information on how to keep our borders safe. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Non-resident diplomats accredited to Fiji are in Suva for a week. Based in Australia and New Zealand, these ambassadors and high commissioners represent their respective countries' interests in the Pacific. Edwin Nunn reports.
This is the first time Fiji has hosted such a meeting, bringing together diplomats from the far corners of the world.
We are looking to strengthen bilateral cooperation with both developing and developed economies through facilitative arrangements that are mutually beneficial.
Only time they tend to visit Fiji is during the presentation of their credentials. And it's just a zoom in, zoom out again. And they do not get the opportunity to fully understand or embrace what our developments are or the challenges are.
The visit will include a full day of discussions between the government and the 17 envoys on national development priorities, economic, trade and investment policies, financial and regulatory policy.
This is the first time that Fiji has hosted a familiarization trip for non-resident representatives, all in the hopes of increasing business trade, people-to-people relations and bilateral cooperation on a number of fronts.
Enhancing our people-to-people links require easier cross-border access. To that end, Fiji has been and is pursuing visa exemption arrangements with partners that are willing to do so.
There was overwhelming acceptance from them because most of them also realized that they need to at least have a sector that they can attend to given the experiences and expertise they have.
The envoys represent governments in Africa, Asia, the Middle East, Europe and the Americas. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
With just 3 months until the tropical cyclone season begins, relevant agencies continue to mobilize their resources to ensure efficient responses when needed. Fiji Red Cross Society Health and Care Coordinator Maritha Kepa says they continue to engage volunteers who are always at the front line to ensure safety in the event of natural disasters or other emergencies. Josai Nanunga has more.
The Fiji Red Cross Society will always be there to assist after any natural disaster.
As a disaster comes and after we are cleared after 72 hours, we go out and we prepare the volunteers. The volunteers are the ones that they are deployed out into the communities and they do the response. They do the assessment first and the response.
Kepa says capacity building is vital to humanitarians involved in disaster response work.
So what we do, there is a content, like I said, every year our disaster unit, they do a training every year, follow-up training, and they do refresher every now and then.
Meanwhile, there are other relevant organizations involved in disaster rehabilitation and response.
Training a lot of Ministry of Health workers, but also within other partners, right throughout the different provinces within countries as well as at the national level.
The minimum initial service package basically prepares the frontliners to be able to assist after a disaster has happened.
The severe devastation of past natural hazards continues to encourage these organizations to innovate effective and efficient response mechanism. Disaster do happen. Are you prepared? Josai Nanunga, FBC News.
Turning overseas, nearly 2 million protesters defied police to march through Hong Kong streets on Sunday night. The illegal protest was the second biggest since the city's crisis began, and while it was peaceful, it's far from over. And it's business time now with Koroi.
Thank you, Jackie. Coming up, Casket business on the boom. And in growing Fiji, new boat makes traveling faster. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग कल मिर्ची FM सुनता. Gold Town Tava में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM. It's hot.
The casket business in the country is growing. The median funeral has been around for more than 10 years making caskets and is now earning sales of over $100,000 annually. Apinisa Wangarandova reports.
Casket sales for this particular business have increased over the years, especially when it comes to the deaths of infants and young adults.
People of a very young age are dying. I believe there was a time period a few months back where a lot of babies were dying, as young as newborn. So in that particular weeks, we would sell about 4 to 5 baby coffins in a week alone. So that could resemble a lot of issues with our young people.
Chan says there has been an increase in the number of business producing caskets.
A good indicator would be the number of other companies that have come out. So there's been a lot of competition in the market as well. A lot of new players have come in, a lot of new businesses have come in, and a few have actually even closed down as well. But I would say, as for my business personally, I think we have had a steady, a number, and over the years, as you know, death also increases.
The Fiji Corrections Service, which is responsible for burial plots, says they need more space. In a statement, it said the demand for burial plots is increasing, especially for the Lobonilase and Nasinu cemeteries. In many cases, several requests were diverted to Nasinu cemetery, which has adequate space, and in certain cases, relatives of deceased are requested to identify family burial plots which could be reopened. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry says heart disease is a major cause of death in Fiji. In 2017, it killed almost twice as many people in Fiji as diabetes. Apinisa Wangrandobu, FBC News.
Villagers in Madhwata and the Kondrove will now be able to enjoy TV service through the Walisi channel. Walesi has recently completed its community installation drive in the provinces of Madhuwata and Dhakaunrove, whereby 78 village community halls were provided with free Walesi installation. Walesi has so far also provided free installations in more than 300 remote communities in the provinces of Mba, Bua, Kandavu, Lau, Lomai, Viti, Nandrunga, Namosi, Ra, Rewa, Rotuma and Tailevu. This service is progressively being extended to other remote communities who have until now been deprived of free-to-air local television services. Gary is here from HFC with the latest from the money markets.
Australia's central bank is ready to cut interest rates further if a build-up of evidence suggests this would boost the economy. The bank says it reviewed global experience with such unconventional steps when policymakers met 2 weeks ago. The Reserve Bank also noted few signs of inflation pressure in the economy and warned entrenched expectations of weak wage growth could reduce household spending. Yet, it reaffirmed a better growth outlook based on the combination of June-July easing along with the hope tax cuts and infrastructure spending will provide increased momentum. Meanwhile, the escalating trade war between the world's two largest economies is negatively impacting the outlook for U.S. crude oil shipment, amid fears that China could soon dramatically reduce its intake of American oil. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. Another mixed day for the Fiji dollar as the foreign exchange markets attempted to cope with the changing global situation. The Fiji dollar was down against the US greenback and the Chinese yuan, but gained against the currencies of our two major trading partners, Australia and New Zealand, as well as the Japanese yen, but slid versus the kina and the euro. Commodities were mixed. Oil prices rose above $56 a barrel, gold dropped to $1,495 per ounce, and silver closed down at $16.89 per ounce. In growing Fiji, Interlink Shipping Services has taken the leading role in improving local inter-island shipping services. With the latest inclusion to their fleet, the MV Ohana, Interlink has reduced travel time from Natovi to Nambowalu. Lina Rees with the story.
Interlink Shipping Services has been overwhelmed with the response from the public regarding the improved shipping services by its new vessel MV Ohana. The MV Ohana travels at a faster speed and can make what would normally be a 4-hour trip from Natovi to Nambowalu in less than 3 hours.
We are very eager to cut the traveling time. Apart from the demand that we have, we also believe that we need to upgrade the service. How currently is being operated, it has to move to the next level now. I think we are all ready for that. 4 or 5 hours of traveling between the islands, I think it's quite a lot. It should be under 3 hours, definitely.
Interlink Shipping Manager Josiah Nawa highlighted that this change is for the convenience of travelers and such a time allows people to do more.
Yeah, it's great, like people they're enjoying and still everybody they can't believe the speed that we have on Ohana. Yeah.
Interlink Shipping Services has 3 vessels that include MV Westerland, MV Queen of Melbourne and MV Ohana that service the route from Natovi to Nambowalu. Now the company also hopes to bring in a 4th vessel that can match the speed of MV Ohana and continue to improve the inter-island ferry services around the country. Lina Rees, FBC News.
That's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Koroy, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, the latest from the Flying Fijians camp. And Suva football gears up for crucial clash. This and more coming up.
Natango meria, maramani waya manetua sawa. Waitikitukutunde nandi ya ndo marataka na varonga na Radio Fijian.
Yawa asna vatili, yawa maga Monica. Tondo varonga vale bunar doma ibiti lambasa.
Pula natango aprosla ngarse, ngor kraki. Do televio na varonga na Radio Fijian, na doma ibiti. Natango tsani bukia, ngoni na mosi. Ando talita kana varonga na Radio Fijian, na doma ibiti su.
Radio Fijian, na doma.
Fiji Airways flying Fijian Eronimo Wee expects a tough encounter against Tonga in their Pacifica Test match next weekend. The loose-head prop says the match also provides a great opportunity to perfect their set pieces before heading into the Rugby World Cup. Sabanatha Wanga reports.
As the Flying Fijian side continues with preparations for the 2019 Rugby World Cup, one man is ready to defy all odds, hoping to get a spot in the final team. Speaking to FBC Sports, Maui says being part of the 32-man squad has been a learning experience and he is confident in representing Fiji at the World Cup.
Being chosen is really a great honor. Didn't expect it because there's a lot of competition going around for props. But to be chosen, it's a really great honor and a bit of a challenge.
The 23-year-old Lao native says playing at prop is not an easy position as he has to put in the extra effort to maintain his spot in the team.
It's not an easy position because there are lots of props nowadays. But it's going to be challenging, and yeah, everybody's definitely fighting for spot.
Meanwhile, halfback Henry Seniloli, who sustained a minor injury to his left ankle during training, is on the road to recovery and will be fit to play by the end of the week before departing for New Zealand.
I sustained a minor injury today in my left ankle. I'll be all right by the end of the week. Surely I'll be 100% by the end of the week.
Fiji meets Tonga in their Pacifica Challenge match next week Saturday in New Zealand. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
Flying Fijians Lucy Semikonatani is ready to bring his A game to his first Rugby World Cup. Renowned for his line breaks and offloading abilities, Konatani is mindful though that on some occasions an offload will not be the best option to take. Faria Begum has more.
Semikonatani says the strength of the Flying Fijians lies in the natural game-playing ability of the players.
But we have to stick to our structure, and when you're playing big teams, we don't need to do more offload. You know, like we have to be like choose when to offload and when to keep the ball. You know.
The man, dubbed as the Beast during his Sevens days, says the team needs to perfect its game before the first World Cup match against Australia on September 22nd.
I think we still need to improve on some stuff, you know, like our structure, and we still need to improve on some of our game plans, fix up little things before we play Tonga.
Hooker Sam Matavesi says the match against Tonga will be a good performance indicator.
It's the last chance for us as a team to work on everything that we've been practicing, and then for us as a squad to put in a performance that we're happy with for the World Cup.
The Flying Fijians face Tonga on August 31st in New Zealand. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
And in New Zealand, a month out from the World Cup, and opposition parties are trying to change the law to allow clubs and pubs to serve alcohol while games are on. It comes amid growing concerns that smaller clubs may have to close before some of the games finish. More teachers are now equipped with the skills and knowledge of netball coaching, thanks to NetGo, a program that aims to improve the standard of netball at primary, secondary, and district level. Today, 25 teachers from various schools in Lambasa were part of the program, the third to be held in the Northern Division so far. Eleanor Torangebu reports.
At the end of this two-day program today, these primary school teachers from around Lambasa will officially be Oceania Netball Foundation accredited coaches.
They're able to now coach with confidence, and that is one of our main objectives with this course, is that not only that we want to certify teachers, but the important thing is actually getting them to be confident enough to get out and actually deliver coaching programs.
The teachers will now be among the 252 others who have so far been accredited through the NetGo program this year. Last year, 238 teachers in Viti level were given certification.
These past 2 years, we've seen the impact of this program and how it has impacted the teachers in terms of delivering the coaching. This is the result is that the improvement in participation from the school.
NetGo is a partnership between Netball Fiji and Netball New Zealand, aimed at getting more children to play netball.
For every teacher that's targeted, that's at least 20 to 30 kids that they could impact. So when you think of the ripple impact of that, great energy, great vibe, the teachers, probably the most heartwarming thing is that the teachers really want to be here and they really do care.
At the end of the program, teachers are each given a kit containing 6 netballs and a pump, 2 sets of bibs, first aid kit, a whistle, cones, plus the latest netball rulebook. The program moves to Tavioni on Thursday. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC Sports.
Suva Football knows the threat Rewa will present in its next Vodafone Premier League match. Association President Ritesh Pratap says Rewa has always given Suva a good run and they don't expect any different this weekend. Faria Begum has more.
Suva and Rewa have fought some hard battles and each is aware of the dangers of their tough opponent.
We played Rewa once this year. That was the Vodafone Premier League, the first round we played against Rewa. We lost Rewa 1-0 and that time Rewa were down. But still they came up and they beat us 1-0. And I think playing Rewa is always a tough. And I think there is a rivalry between Suva and Rewa. Always been a southern side, but we always have that thing amongst us. And yes, Rewa will give us a tough time. It will be a very tough game for us.
On the other hand, disappointed with Rewa's performance last week, Coach Peter Rambo says it will take more than training at the year level hills to up Rewa's game.
And we know now 5 more games left now on the competition now, so I think we have to step it up because now Nandi is ahead of us now with 12 points and we are sitting with 10 points. But for us now, it's just going to go back to the drawing board, see where we lacked on.
Rambo says one of the key areas of concern is player discipline.
I think it's less the commitment from the players. I think they just keep on losing focus. They never stay disciplined throughout the whole game. I mean, it told them something, but you know, it's very, and I don't know how they can understand it. But I think indiscipline in their position, I think, has played the biggest role for us.
Both teams are in training for their match this weekend. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
Lautoka coach Ajinesh Prasad says a win in its next VPL match is vital for the side. The Blues lost to Suva last Sunday and are now set to take on Lambasa this weekend. The side will also be out to avenge its earlier loss to Lambasa in the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants final.
We have to give everything. We have to win that match against Lambasa just to keep our hopes alive for our league. And yes, we will be working on how to tackle Lambasa as we have lost them in the finals. So yeah, we will be working on Lambasa to win the game so that we stay in the contention to qualify for our league.
In today's play of the day, we head off to the Maita 10 Cup, where Fijians Joe Rabavo and Chris Kurindrani were on fire for their respective teams. That's it from sports tonight and new media. Facebook Cafe to help you learn more about privacy settings. Details coming up.
रहता है हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार हम रहता है रेलू और रेडियो फिजियन हरदम सुनता है बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोचक सुनता है बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है हम लोग रेडियो फिजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम नंबर 1 रेडियो
कुमार सानी नायक है गोंगो लेबू लटोका रेडियो फिजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
कुमार नकाफी में रहता है रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In new media tonight, Facebook is fighting back against the perception that it doesn't care about protecting user data, confirming that it will open a number of pop-up cafes where visitors can get privacy checkups. 5 Facebook cafes will open throughout the UK. And Kelly joins us now with the latest in weather. It has been a fine Tuesday across Fiji with moderate temperature and some late afternoon cloudiness and occasional showers in eastern parts of the country. Taking a look at the west, there was a mixture of cloud and sunshine, but it remained dry. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, the day began bright but became overcast in the afternoon with a few scattered showers thanks to the onshore trade winds. And up north, fairly sunny for most of Vanua Levu and very warm in Lambasa. At sea, the southeast winds are at 15 to 20 knots, generating moderate to rough seas. High tide tonight will be at 9:59, followed by low tide at 4:07 tomorrow morning. And after a rather cool night, sunrise will be at 6:22. Tomorrow looks much like today with mixed cloud and sunshine in the west and increasing cloudiness with a shower or two late in the day in the east. It should be fairly warm and sunny up north. Tomorrow's temperatures, Mba and Lambasa may be the hotspots with most other centers in the high 20s. And looking further on to Thursday, more of the same, generally fine weather. And it's back to you, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Kelly. In Fijian Pulse segment tonight, we asked, are you aware of the symptoms of meningococcal?
Fever like vomiting, diarrhea, headache, body ache, muscle pains.
From what I can gather, it's those red dots you see on the legs.
Comes from fever, like vomiting, and what's called running nose, things like that.
Actually, I have read in the papers and also here in the social medias that it's starting from the fever, and also the skin color is also changing, like it will be reddish and also in purple.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, how far will you go for a marriage proposal? Well, this man surely went the distance. Recapping the main stories for tonight, more people appear for alleged FNPF scam. Health Ministry warns of meningococcal symptoms, and Sunday school numbers dwindle for Methodist Church. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking, are you happy with the 32-member Flying Fijians team named for the Rugby World Cup? Be sure to visit our FBC website to answer. And before we go, our shot of the day, the Flying Fijians are gearing up for the World Cup and fans young and old are getting into the World Cup spirit. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Fong. I studied Suba. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Asnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm Makereta from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.